Hi, I'm Landon from Green Tool Garage. You may have already seen the press release this morning announced by RYOBI Tools USA regarding some upcoming tools that are getting ready to be released in the very near future. And today I'm going to highlight a couple of the tools that were mentioned in the press release, which is the all-new barrel grip 18-volt brushless jigsaw and the new successor to the one-handed reciprocating saw. This is the old one, this is the new one. They look very similar, but I assure you, they're not even closely related in performance. That's for darn sure. And so I will talk a little bit about some of the features. I won't deep dive into all the specs because you can do that by looking at RYOBI's website, which I always encourage that you go ahead and do, because they have a ton of great information, and plus you may just really get enthused when you see all the cool pictures and the videos that they have attached to a lot of the listings of their new upcoming tools. But let's start with a barrel grip jigsaw here real quick. So this will be offered as a tool only for $139, but if you have the desire to get it with a battery, well, it will be sold as an option with a 2 amp hour battery and a charger as well, and that's going to be listed at $189. And the one-handed reciprocating saw will also be offered in both options as a tool only, which will be, what is it shown here, $119. And it doesn't have a price listed just yet with a 2 amp hour battery or charger, but the website does say that it will be offered with both options. And again, exclusively at the Home Depot for both of these items. Don't have an exact date just yet, but I'm excited, and I'm sure you all will as well. Now, let's start with the one-handed jigsaw. This is something here that I think a lot of people have actually kind of hoped for, especially when they saw the M12 Milwaukee. It does look rather similar to the Milwaukee M12 jigsaw tool. I'm sure a lot of you have one of these sitting in your garages. One of these old style with a high profile. I hardly ever used mine. Main reason is because again, the high profile, and I used to always get a lot of blade drift, which would mean inaccurate cuts almost each and every time. So it always just sat on the wall or on a shelf wherever I had it, and I would always end up using my my miter saw or a table saw, even if I had to do a quick cut. But I can tell you with this right here, for this a lot, and I gotta say, one big factor in this is because I get an accurate cut each and every time. This, compared to one of the older styles, is one, the support for the blade is much stiffer. It has plenty of support, so when I am actually cutting, I'm getting zero blade drift. And also along those lines, with the added support of it having a lower profile, it's more ergonomic. It's easier to maneuver and to make your cuts, whether you're making a nice straight cut or you're doing some creative curve cuts, whatever you're working on. It's so much easier to handle. But if you need to use two hands, you certainly can by putting your one hand up here for support, whether you're right-handed or left-handed. You have the option to do that. Or what I do often when I am doing some sort of a project where I need a nice straight cut, I'll use a carpenter square, and I will use this with one hand and use this to make my nice quick square cut just like that. And I'm telling you, I am always confident when I pick this up to make a nice even cut. And you'll see it in the demo that I will do, where how fast it is with a 2x4, nice thick 2x4, and how square the cut actually is with this new barrel grip. Some of the features that it does have on here that I will mention is it does have a tool-free mechanism to install and uninstall your blade, which is pretty cool. It doesn't matter if you're left-handed or right-handed to turn it on and off. You have a button right here, which you just simply slide very, very easily by just touching. And it's really easy to turn it off, so you don't have to worry about it, especially if you've never used a barrel grip type of a jigsaw ever and you're used to, you know, the triggers. Don't worry, this is very, very simple to use because all it takes is just a quick touch to turn it off and you're nice and safe. So this barrel grip does have 4 different orbital setting modes, 1, 2, 3, and automatic. Very similar to some of the older jigsaws, which have 3 orbital settings. This one actually has all 3, but also the automatic setting as well, which if you're a novice, you're not very familiar with using a jigsaw, or you're lazy like me, set it to automatic and the device will automatically adjust the proper orbital setting for you, the cut that you're actually doing. Pretty cool feature. This does come with this attachment right here. Now this attachment, you probably already know what this is. This is an attachment to connect your wet and dry vac or your dust extractor for dust management. However, you don't need to use this. But if you do, it simply connects to the back of the base here, and you can flip it to so it's actually leaning on this side or this side, your choice. But you don't need to use that. And why do I say that? This has a pretty cool integrated feature here where it has an integrated blower. So this right here is an on and off switch, and while you are using it, if you have it turned on, it'll be just like if you have a scroll saw. You may be familiar with those, where scroll saws have a little tiny little air hose right at your cutting line, and that little tiny air hose will create some burst of air to get rid of any of the dust particles on your cutting line, so you have a nice clear view of where you're cutting. Very cool feature on that. This does have a die-cast metal base here with an extra plastic guard. Now I have a tendency to use this guard here to here it goes, store a couple of blades. I'm either using a coarse blade for really quick fast cuts when I don't need a whole lot of accuracy, and the one I just dropped there just now is a more of a fine blade for really nice fine smooth cuts, and I have them down here so I don't have to go searching through a toolbox. It's always with the jigsaw. Now this does also have an option for miter cuts as well, with an integrated Allen key that's right here in the base. You would use the Allen key to adjust right in the bottom here, which will then allow you to tilt the base to the degree that you actually would want to, up to 45 degrees left or right for miter cuts. Now this does have the specs do say that this has 40% less vibration than the previous brushless jigsaw model, which is a higher profile, and I actually think it's more than 40%. So I think they're being really conservative on that mark because it has way less vibration than any jigsaw that I've ever had the luxury of actually using, which is I think a huge contributing factor, along with the nice support for the blade here, of why the cuts are so nice and accurate and smooth and quick too. You know, less vibration, better cuts, right? So those are all cool features. All right, so let's go ahead and we will do a quick demo here. I'm going to attach a 2x4 over here to my workbench, and let's give it a try. All right, let's go ahead and attach a blade to the jigsaw. Easily done. Pull up that lever. Nice, locked in there, nice and secure. So you can see there, that's not even moved. It doesn't even wiggle. It's pretty cool. All right, I'm going to go ahead and use a 3 amp hour battery. Love these 3 amp hours. Pop that in there. And I have a 2x4 already set up. So let's do a cut. Okay, so I'll be using my carpenter square here. And here we go. So remember I was telling you about the button to turn it off and on. You have one on each side. So whether you like to use your thumb, your index finger, or your right-handed or left-hander, no big deal. All right, so check this out first. I'm going to turn it on so you can see how stable that blade is. All right, let's go ahead and do a cut. Easily turn it off. All right, let's take a look and see how square this actually is. And wow, look at that. That's unbelievable. I would never be able to get accurate cuts like that with any of my older jigsaws. And then after you're done with your cut, make sure you attach the battery. So pull up the lever. Blade comes out nice and easy. And again, I like to put my 2 favorite blades right underneath there. The plastic. There we go. And now I can put it back, put it on a shelf, on a mount behind me, wherever. Done with that right now. Okay, so now let's take a look at the one-handed recip saw. So, as I mentioned here, by first glance, when you look at both of these, they look actually pretty much the same thing. And in fact, when I got my hands on this, I actually thought it was. But if you take a look at it real carefully, when it's in front of you, there are some noticeable difference here. So the newer one, which is this one right here, is much beefier. It feels muscular compared to this one. It just feels like there's way more power. The other thing about this is, and I think this is, to me anyway, one of the huge considering factors of why the newer one really outperforms the older one, or one of the reasons why it outperforms. So the older one, if you take notice of the shoe, you see where the support is. It's actually not in the middle, it's all the way over here to the side. So what happens is when you have this on, you're cutting the item that you're cutting for support. As soon as it gets, I guess, towards the end, what's going to happen here is when you're putting pressure and you're holding it, the support moves. And what happens when that shoe support moves, you have a tendency to get what's called blade jumping, and that can be very, very dangerous. And also too, you get a lot of vibration as well when you have a shoe that isn't really supporting it a whole lot. Now, does this do the job? Absolutely, it does the job well. I've used this to cut branches, other, pallets of wood, other type of things. But I gotta say, this right here, if you take notice of this shoe, the new one, first off, it's much thicker. The pivoting point where the support is right in the middle. And when you see in the demo that I'm gonna do here in a second here, is you won't see the shoe wiggle around and move around. It's stable. So when the shoe is nice and stable, well then so is the blade, and which also means no blade jumping and also very, very minimal vibration. And when you put all these factors together along with a more powerful motor, you're going to have a quick comfortable and more accurate cut. Now, you don't really use reciprocating saws for accurate cuts, but you do get more accuracy regardless when you put in all those factors together. So let's give this a try. All right, let's go ahead and secure this 2x4 to the table. And I am going to go ahead and I'm going to use a new blade, so that way it's fair for both of them. Let's use one of these nice RYOBI wood blades right there. And let's go ahead and try the old one first. Securely put that blade in there. Use a 3 amp hour battery. Again, love these 3 amp hours. Let's flip this around. Okay. Okay, so here we go. Turn this on. First, is turn it on before I actually touch the wood with it, and let's see how much this blade actually just wobbles. Kind of looks like it's dancing around a bit, doesn't it? All right, let's go ahead and cut. All right, see how I mean by towards the end? As soon as you hit towards the end, because that pivot point is not in the middle, that shoe just automatically went boom, just like that. All right, let's take the battery out. Remove the blade. Okay, let's install the new one here. Easy. Okay, 3 amp hour battery, same exact blade. Let's turn this one on and let's see how much blade wobble we got, and let's kind of see how loud this is as well. Still got a little bit of wobble, kind of expect that with a reciprocating saw, but to me it looked like it wasn't as much of a wobble, and it definitely had a lot less vibration. And let's give it a try. Okay, here we go. Wow, considerably faster compared to the old one. I think the riveting factors are due to the power, more power in the motor, the better shoe, and yeah, when you have less vibration and you have better support, you're going to have better cuts, quicker cuts as well. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video today where we took a look at 2 new tools that are getting released on Home Depot shelves in the very near future. The all-new 18-volt barrel grip and the 18-volt one-handed reciprocating saw. If you have any comments or questions, please drop it in the comment section or shoot me a message, and I'll do my best to try to answer a question as soon as I possibly can. If you like more videos like this, please let us know. Give us a like, give us a follow, and share this video if you wouldn't mind. And again, I'm Landon from Green Tool Garage, and thanks for watching.